What's up? What's up? It's your boy GD Fitz back. BSN presents Tell the Truth Sports Talk. We've been gone for a minute, but we are back in the building. I want to welcome in a special guest. It's going to be one of the mainstays here, especially during football season right now with BSN, and that's my guy. He went to school too at one of the greatest high schools of all time, Baltimore Polytechnic Institute. This is my guy, Joel Johnson. What's good, Joe?
What's up, baby? You know what it is?
Yeah, man. So look, going to recap. We get right back into it. NFL season is here. We missed week 1 on purpose because we wanted to let it marinate just a little bit. So we get ready to go in here with week 2. It's been some interesting things so far in the early part of the season. Been a lot of injuries at the early part of the season. But let's get right into this. We ain't gonna hold y'all long. We're gonna hit you right with it. Week 2 recap. The New Orleans Saints. Showing everybody that they are not dead yet. Derek Carr has revitalized his career down here in the Bayou, and he's putting up points the last 2 weeks. They whipped the Dallas Cowboys this week in Dallas. Alvin Kamara came out of nowhere, 4 touchdowns. I know the fantasy owners was happy. But what's your thoughts on the Saints with this win and their 2-0 start to this season?
Hey, surprise. Who thought that?
You think it was going to be a surprise?
Who thought that?
Damn, who going to beat them Saints right now?
Who thought that? Like, how they played last year was inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, NFC South, everybody right off the NFC South. Worst division in football. So, for them to jump out there early, make a statement in Dallas, you know, that's how you start the season off.
Yeah, I was very impressed, and I've been very impressed with Derek Carr because I'm watching him, and he's showing his leadership capabilities. Not saying that he's better than Drew Brees. I'm talking about who was there. Not better than Drew Brees, but he's showing leadership capabilities with this squad. They trust him, and that's a very good thing. And then it's also a good thing with their young offensive coordinator, young Kubiak.
Yeah,
that's another.
He get a lot of credit. Give him a lot of credit. Learn from his pops. Pops learned from Shanahan. So it's in the blood. That run game is going to produce. It don't matter where you at. It's going to produce.
Now I'm gonna go here. I'm going to go to the next move because I think the Saints, they got disrespected, but they had a quality defense. And remember last year, I think they went, 8-9, I believe?
Oh, but they always had a good defense.
Yeah. And if they figure out this offense, they're going to be really solid. So I think the Saints are really going to be good. But I'm going to go to another team that's in their division. I think this team is actually getting disrespected in their division. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're off to a 2-0 start. Impressive win in Detroit this week. Baker Mayfield is showing everybody, just give the man a chance and some weapons he can produce. He may not be MVP, but he's a quality quarterback in this league in 2024. I really like the way that this Tampa Bay team is winning football games over the last few years. And we forget, I understand, the GOAT was down there when they won the Super Bowl. Yeah. But the defense is still elite.
Absolutely.
So I think people are really disrespecting Tampa Bay. What's your thoughts on Tampa Bay?
I think Tampa is a classic example of where head coaching actually matters. Lovie Smith, been in the league years, been a head coach before. Didn't exactly get a fair shake, but second time around he came under. He was underneath Bruce Arians, you know, and they handed the reins over to him. He has full control of that team, and they have full trust in him. So when you got that give and take between player and coach, man, the sky's the limit. You know, it's a bunch of teams that have that break, that don't have that constant give and take between the coach and the players. It just throws everything off.
And a lot of times, I know that everybody was saying that Bruce Arians at the time handpicked who he wanted, which was Bowles. And I'm like, bro, he was a former head coach.
Lovie Smith.
It's all right. I knew he was going. It's all right. I didn't want to correct you right there. I'm going to correct it here on a smooth tip. But when I seen Bowles take the job, I said he's a former head coach on the team. Again, he didn't get a fair shake his first time. Got fired early for no reason when his team was still winning football games. They just couldn't. Yeah, we know what it was because we don't cut no cards here with BSN. We're uncut, unfiltered. We know it was the black thing. You know what I'm saying? We knew what it was. But I digress on that because he got a second chance.
Right.
And I'm watching him handle this team correctly. They have great defense. White, Winfield, they're taking care of the business. They're taking care, and they're being leaders. Mike Evans, first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's a beast, man.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a beast.
Definitely. And then to go with a very solid offensive line, and they don't put too much on Baker Mayfield to say you have to win the football game. They are balanced. They're very balanced. Go ahead.
That offensive line piece is like, man, when you got that protection for a quarterback, or you got them guys up front that's just making a way for the running back, that makes a huge difference, man. That Tristan Wirfs protecting your quarterback, like, you don't have to worry about that for the rest. Whoever the quarterback is, you know you good. Wherever Tristan Wirfs is at, nobody's coming after you on that side, you know? So, offensive line is important. They got offensive line, that coaching, constant, consistent defense. They're going to be there towards the end of the season.
I think that, I know earlier you said the NFC South is considered the quote-unquote worst division in the league.
Years running.
And that's for years.
Yeah.
I don't think they've been the worst. I think it's been the easiest road to get to the playoffs to win because of the turnover. And when I say the turnover, you had Hall of Famers, first ballot Hall of Famers that retired and that were in the back end of their careers. I'm talking about Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Cam Newton had left,
Tom.
And then Tom came in at the perfect time to win a Super Bowl. But those teams, like we just said,
team too.
That's what I'm saying. All 4 teams went through a transition of quarterback. Now all 4 teams, defenses have always been there. They just couldn't score. Now, 3 of the 4 teams, not all of the teams, 3 of the 4 teams are showing their worth when they finally have a quality quarterback. That takes me to last night's game. I'm talking about Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And, you like that? Yeah, you liked that last night. You liked that last night. Because if you're an Eagles fan, you can't stand it. But if you like what Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons did last night, they picked up a W. I think that was the most important W that they needed, because if they would have started 0-2 in that division, you might as well cancel the playoffs already. Again, it's going to be a tight race between 3 teams.
It's another coach who didn't get a fair shake his first time. You know, he should have got another year to prove himself. He didn't get that year. Went back to being a coordinator. Where did he go to? Went to the Rams. Went back to the Rams.
Won a Super Bowl with it.
Yeah, so he know how to coach. You know, now you're getting a chance to prove it. You know, again. So that's I'm hoping he really get his chance to shine down there.
Well, it's looking like he's getting his chance, and he's got a star, because Bijan Robinson showed everybody his worth last night. The man ran for over 100, helped that team win. But what I really, really like is that they never went away from the strategy, which was run, play action, hit you over the top.
There you go.
And watching Mooney, because I always liked Mooney was in Chicago, but watching Mooney with his speed coming out of the slot, they exposed the Eagles last night. And I ain't even talking about the comeback at the end, because that was a
secondary.
Yeah, the secondary.
They've been trash since last year in the secondary. Like, ever since the Super Bowl run, last year they bombed out all last year. Even week 1, Jordan Love was killing them. He was piecing them up. So like, I don't think he exposed them. We already knew they was some trash. But that little cover 2 prevent defense they was in, just gave them the game.
Yeah, they threw the game away, and I know a lot of people was going to point fingers at Saquon Barkley, but we're going to go on that on the other side on what my thoughts really are on this, because we're doing the rundown right now. But the way that they lost that game last night, it's going to be a lot of alarms risen. And it's just like it may be some alarms here in Baltimore, because we're getting ready to talk about the Baltimore football Ravens. Remember, we are the Baltimore sports nation. As you can see, I'm wearing the Orioles colors today. My man Joe's over here wearing the purple and black. But we got to talk about it. Ravens go 0-2.
It's therapy, baby. It's
First time in the Lamar Jackson era that we are 0-2. And it's the way we have gone 0-2. Losing game 1 in Kansas City Thursday night, opening up the season, and then lose it, in my opinion, not because of the toe. I'm not going to say it's because of the toe. Losing it because of poor execution in critical moments. Bateman doesn't run the correct route. It looks like we're throwing the ball behind Zay Flowers in that situation. Small things like that. Execution, we didn't win it. We lose that one. But this game, game 2, home against the Raiders, 8.5-point favorites in our house at the bank, and to allow this team who has been putrid on offense, they can't run the football, to let them come in here and Gardner Minshew, credit to Gardner, because this is the second year in a row that he's coming here and won in week 2. What's going on with the Baltimore Ravens?
It's a different. Let's start from the top.
Oh.
All right. I've been a big supporter for Harbaugh. Never said, "Oh, let's fire him." He's one of the best options you're gonna get out there. Mm-hmm. But right now, he's gotta assert himself. He's gotta drill into the team. It's the little things, attention to detail, things like that. Penalties. We're not used to seeing the Ravens doing that kind of stuff. Shoot their own self in the foot. Well, we got like 18 penalties so far this year already. That's not Raven football at all. So we got to correct ourselves first. Do your job. Do your job. Don't worry about somebody else doing their job. Do your job. Correct what we can correct and get right before it's too late. Because 0-3 is like almost like a death sentence right now with the schedule we got.
So remember, y'all, we playing a first place schedule this year. And nobody's going to take us for granted because we have the reigning MVP of the league as our guy. He is our guy. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to ask this question. I know we just said we got to clean up some things and be on track. But I got to ask this question. Do you think it's time to panic here in Charm City with this loss and the way that the coaching has been on display over the last few years?
Panic? No. We got too many veterans on this team. The leadership is good. We just got to buckle down and play football. Even the coaching is good. It's too early to panic. It's week 2. 0-3. All right, now it's time to switch some things up, But let's do common sense shit first. Mm-hmm. Let's start there with the Ravens. Do common sense stuff. This whole rotational thing, this ain't basketball with the subbing in and out.
Right.
Stop that shit on the offensive line, man. Mm-hmm. You did that last year for Ronnie Stanley because he was hurt. We got a second-round pick. Put him on the field, let him play. Filet, sit his ass. The tape speaks for itself. It's common. That's common sense. He need to be sitting right next to me talking about this shit right now.
And you know what's funny? I think part of this is the fact of coaching because he favors his guys. He is a player's coach. But you can't submit yourself to that because it's going to get you fired. It can get you fired because it's all about wins and losses in this league.
But is he a player's coach now? Because he wasn't a player's coach when he first got here. It was a beef with him and leadership. Then when Lamar came over, we buddy now.
I'm about to hit you with it. Now we're going back. Whoa. Yeah, major pause, bro. I'm about to hit you. I'm about to get you with something. I'm about to give you something. Pause because we gonna be there. Listen, I know I'm going crazy. We ain't been on the air in a little bit, but I'm about to give you a little bit of nugget. Pause. Okay. Look, I'm here. I gotta keep pausing this.
Boy, nasty.
Because look, man, I'm gonna go here with this. All right. When he got here, young coach, never been a coordinator outside of special teams. So, you coming in, you inherit Hall of Famer Ed Reed, Hall of Famer Terrell Suggs, the best middle linebacker of all time, Ray Lewis.
Oh, don't disrespect Ed, too.
They the best. They best. They are the best. But then you get them, and they're like, man, what is this guy doing? Because remember, they got more, in their mind, more experience in what he has. So you gotta follow. You're like, all right, I gotta follow. Again. Right. But now, after they go through the transition, after they win the Super Bowl, start following out those guys and bringing in the guys that's going to be my guys. Didn't work. Because remember, they didn't go to playoffs for a couple years. You bring in Steve Smith, another one of those cut from a different cloth kind of guys. So it's like, all right, I got to lean a little bit this way. I think when you got Lamar Jackson, it was like, Lamar is a guy. He's one of the guys, right? But he's got that next level talent as a rookie. You've seen it. Then they had to trust in him because they got rid of Joe Flacco the following year.
Right.
And now it's like, I trust this guy. Because you notice, Harbaugh would go for it a lot on fourth down when they were losing, right?
Yeah.
And he would say, yo, let's go.
Because he got Lamar. Lamar wanted it. When you got Lamar, you believe that you can do anything, But it's time for Lamar to be that voice that now challenges Harbaugh. Like, okay, I know we can get this 3 yards. Lamar knows he can get this 3 yards, but you know what? Let's do what's right for the team right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's punt this ball, you know?
So let's go into that.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going back to week 2.
Mm-hmm.
Critical play. We throw the ball to Zay. Everybody's saying leave it alone, it's incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
Fans in the bank yelling and screaming, go, 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 go. And this is why I get upset. And I'm going to look at the camera when I say it. This is why I get upset with the Raven fan and not the realist. Why would we even challenge that? Why would we push the challenge that in that situation? We push the challenge that, we lose that challenge, guess what happens? We don't get a first down. Mm-hmm. We now force Justin Tucker to kick from 50. Let's look over the last few years. Has Justin Tucker been good from 50 plus? Mm-hmm. But we put him in that situation. And I watched Lamar get very upset on the field. Mm-hmm. This is about that challenging your coach now.
Right.
Bro, no. We good.
Right.
It's third down. We don't need to waste a timeout because you never know what can happen. Maybe we don't go for that field goal. We punt it. Defense playing well. I just said they couldn't run the ball. We could get something else and now come back and get points. Those are the critical things that I see from Harbaugh saying I almost lost my job being the dictator. I kept my job being the player coach.
Right.
Do I go back to being dictator or do I find balance? That's the issue. What you think?
That happy medium is what's needed right now.
Yes.
Because you got to put your foot on their necks to get production, but you still got to maintain that relationship. You can't change who you are in the middle of the season. You know, out of who you always been. You just got to press down on these guys, pause a little bit more, to get what you need out of them to succeed. You know, so he need to have a deep thought with himself, some time with himself to figure out what's up with this team. Cause start with him.
Start at the top.
It starts at the top.
Yeah, I mean, I like Harbaugh. I know I might be one of the few that still like him.
I love him.
Yeah, I like Harbaugh.
He fucked up a bunch of times. He fucked up a lot. You fucked up a lot, Harbaugh. But I'm here with you. As long as you got that black and purple on, I'm rock with you. I'm take up for you. But you fucking up right now.
Yeah,
it's time to be better.
And I think it's time for him to make some hard decisions. Pause. I want you to understand that he's got to make some decisions because if he doesn't, this team could easily go to 0-4. We talking about 0-3 because they're playing Dallas this week. They could go 0-4.
Give me 0-5.
And there you go.
5. You got. Look at the 3 quarterbacks you got. You got Dak. You got Josh Allen. You got Joe Burrow. You got 3 alleged of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league right now. And proclaim defensively wise, you got some pass rushers. I ain't gonna talk about the defensive. You got some pass rushers out there. You got Parsons. You got Von Miller still. He still got a little bit in the tank. And you got Hendricks.
Yeah, Hendricks.
So come on, man. We gotta get right, or this shit could go down real quick.
Now I'm playing devil's advocate, right? Because I want the Ravens to win.
Yeah.
But I also see some of the holes and flaws. If they go 0-4, do you start looking for next season, or do you still push?
You keep pushing for the playoffs, because
and the reason why, not to cut you off, but I'm looking at where we are. If we lose, let's say 0-4, you got 3 losses in conference.
Yeah.
And head-to-head matchups matter, right? So if you got all of these losses, and let's say a team like Pittsburgh that are ahead of us right now, I know we can still push for the division. But what do you start doing? Because like you even said, potentially 0-5 if we don't get right.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about Cincinnati right now because they're kind of in the same situation as we are, and I still think that we're a better overall team than what Cincinnati Bengals are. But if we start out, let's say 1-4 or 0-5, I think there might be the alarm might be ringing like, bro, this might be the lost season because we've dealt with this before with the year when Justin Forsett and Flacco and them were all hurt. We had to deal with the lost season. This might be that lost season to get us some higher end draft picks to help for the future because right now, offensive line is like playing like an F. Like I'm being realistic. Like they're not playing well. And if you're not playing well, it could potentially injure our best player.
It's your franchise right there. You gotta protect him. But for the main question, I think you gotta keep pushing. It's what 17 games in the regular season now, so we see teams competing for that final playoff spot further into the season now than it was before, with the 16 games, which is it ups the competitiveness in the league, you know, and so as long as we got that 17 games, we got a chance to sneak in there at a 9-8 or something like that, you know. But you keep pushing until it's just like, all right, that's it. Oh, you hit them that 1-6 or something like that.
That's when the change happens.
All right, now we gotta protect our asset Lamar, because we're kicking out all this money, and find some playmakers at some key positions.
Yeah.
Some pass rushers, some pass protectors. We go from there.
Now we talking about pass rushers. I know we stand on the Ravens right now because this is his home team, so we don't talk about them a little bit more. I think they got their pass rushers. Oweh and Ojabo might be the guys, man.
Oweh showing off right now, but I say take Oweh this year with a grain of salt. It's a contract year. People show out in that contract year, and then they play like they playing Northwood 7 and under against the Ravens and stuff like that. So just be careful. People showing out in that contract year. Can't trust that all the time.
Well, we trusted it with Metabike.
Yeah.
And he showed his work.
He showed off, but he's continuing too. But Beeks was always productive. He just wasn't as productive because he had to split time playing behind Calais Campbell and Oweh been getting time the whole time.
Right.
Steady time. So it's about time he's produced. But shit, we wanted this 3 years ago, man.
Right.
We wanted this 3 years ago. We've been wanting. You might got more sacks this year than
combined.
He had. Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
already in 2 games.
And his last season in college. Remember, he had
nothing.
One or nothing?
They had nothing.
Come on, man. So it's a long time coming. Oweh, we thank you for showing up. Let's keep it going, though. We like it.
Now let's go back to last Thursday because we don't want to forget that. Tua Tagovailoa. They paid the man. They gave him his money.
A lot of money.
They invested into the Tua experience down in Miami. When he's on the field, the team wins football games. However, this thing with concussions is serious. Tua Tagovailoa in the game on Thursday night at home against the Buffalo Bills suffered his third concussion in 2 years. Coincidentally, 2 of them came against the Buffalo Bills. The last time that he had the one against Buffalo, they allowed him to come back into the game and played the game. He then came back on the Thursday night short week and played against Cincinnati and had one of the most traumatic concussion injuries we've ever seen. This one looked like a routine tackle.
Yeah, it was nothing. It was everything normal.
Shoulder pad contact to the head neck area of Hamlin. Hamlin delivered, and it's crazy how that works.
Crazy, man.
But Hamlin delivers the tackle, hits him square, and Tua, and when I watched it, his fingers locked up again the same way they did the last time against Cincinnati. And now the concern, and you can see the concern on their coach's face, McDonald's on his face, that this may be the end or the last time we see Tua Tagovailoa on the field, not just for this season, but career-wise. I'm asking you this question because it's bigger than football.
Absolutely.
Should Tua Tagovailoa retire today from the NFL?
I'm going to speak as a fan watching the game, and I'm going to speak if I'm Tua. No. If I was Tua, no. That contract I signed got a lot of money on that thing. So I'm trying to feed my family for years. I'm trying to feed my kids, my kids' kids, my kids' kids' kids. I want that money. So Tua, go get your money. Get paid, you know. Your family, they gonna miss you eventually. That if it comes down to that, God forbid. But get your money. That's what we all here for, getting that money and providing for those who come after us. So I'm all in the likes of Tua, you keep on. But safety wise, put that Guardian cap on, man. Protect yourself out there. It's not about what they call the drip down. Don't worry about looking good out there. You know, Marshawn Lynch, what do you say? Protect your chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Protect your chicken, man, so you can make some chicken. All right.
Now, I don't know. I didn't look at the parameters of his contract on the guarantees, but you're right. I mean, if he can play and he's cleared to play,
Yeah.
let him play. He has to just make sure he protects himself.
Yeah.
I look at it as you're stuck in a rock and a hard place. Because now, if you tour and you like, bro, when I'm on the field, my team wins 70% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good in this league. If I'm off the field, we obviously are losing. I feel like I'm perfectly fine while I'm playing.
Right.
They are giving you different options to protect yourself. I would put that head on. Why? Because I don't want to take a risk of getting hurt.
Yeah.
If it doesn't feel comfortable, all right, I got to get used to playing it because this is the only way I'll be able to play.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm the Miami Dolphins, I'm like, bro, if he's cleared to play, I'm putting it in his contract that he has to wear that. Because if he doesn't wear it, we're not taking another risk of him getting hurt. Because now that's when that investment that you invested into him, you're losing out on your investment. I don't need you to look pretty and cute because that means you're not playing the whole year.
But I think this is part of the NFL. You want to be for the players. This is one instance where you should step in and be like, hey, you need to wear this. You have to wear this. It's no longer an option for you. If you're not going to protect you, we need to protect you from yourself. Mm-hmm. That needs to be done for the NFL. That's the first step in preventing all these lawsuits and stuff like that for CTE. When I'm done playing, show the initiative and show that you are for your players. Mm-hmm. That helps with the Players Association too.
I 100% agree, but I don't know if the Player Association and the NFL owners will do it because there's such a divide for some reason when it comes to that stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, look, man, just a little bit of litigation. That's easy work. Because I don't want to see nobody getting hurt. I remember a few years ago, it was actually a while ago. Remember when Deshaun Jackson and them got lit up on a clean hit in Philadelphia and they both were laid out from a concussion?
Okay.
That contact that they had. Now, you can't see that in this game now in 2024. Those impact plays, as soon as it happens, it's going to be a flag, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're putting in that protection and you're limited in that, why not put this in play? Those are the things that you need in play. I think all of the quarterbacks realistically should get it. Why not? I mean, we're trying to protect what is the biggest investment in football. Right. So let's protect them.
Right.
You just made, in my opinion, one of the silliest moves with the drop tackle, right? You can't do that.
You don't like that?
I do, but I don't. And I was going to get in that into the next segment because we're going to talk about injuries and how they have affected the game thus far early in the season. So we're going to get in there, but it's just the way that things work. If you're putting in red flag here, red flag there, can't do this, penalty,
right,
then we need to do it across the board because it's about that money. You get what I'm saying?
That's all they care about.
That's all they care about. So if it's about the money, we got to do what they care about, right? It's the money. I got to go to this team. This team, I did not know if they were going to be for real or if they were just going through the motions because I don't think the owner really wants this player as their franchise guy. But I got to give a hand clap to Kyler Murray. Welcome back. Kyler Murray is showing everybody that he is back fully from that ACL injury. Yeah. And I also got to say welcome to the show, Marvin Harrison Jr. It hurts me to say this because I'm kind of glad that it didn't happen in week 1 because BSN got a little fantasy football thing. You know, that's what we do. But BSN, this guy, Joel, man, I don't know why he keeps stealing my guys. He stole Kyler Murray. I was trying to grab Kyler Murray in the fantasy draft, but he took him. And I was like, golly, I didn't even want Jalen Hurts. I was trying to make a trade. but it's okay. Kyler Murray is showing everybody he is back. He is playing high-level football. 3 TDs on Sunday against the Rams in the blowout at home. And then the rookie, Marvin Harrison, went out and said, let me go and show everybody why I was drafted, Got 2 touchdowns this week. What are your thoughts on Kyler Murray and the work that's getting put in the Arizona Cardinals in their uniform right now over there? James Conner, too. You got to talk about Conner.
Conner been consistent, man. Connor been consistent. Having a run game is big for any football team. It takes a lot of pressure off your quarterback. But Kyler Murray, he might have put down the PlayStation or the Xbox sticks. You know, he look focused on the field right now. But a lot of that, I think, you gotta give that to coaching again. This is year 2 with him in that system. And we take for granted. We don't think knowing the playbook, the ins and outs. That stuff really means stuff to athletes, man. I know a few professionals, and they tell you, like, when you know plays and the coach like the back of your hand, it takes a lot of pressure off you. So it takes a lot of that stress and just allows you to relax and play. You can see it how he was just free flowing in the pocket, though. Pause. He was just boom, boom. He looked back to himself. He mobile again, and he always was a gunslinger. So now he got one of the best young wide receivers in the game to throw to.
Hey, I think they found their cornerstone wide receiver that they've been looking for since Larry Fitzgerald.
Got a good tight end too.
Yeah, McBride.
Got a great young positional tight end.
Yeah.
That was on right there.
Because, it was. But McBride, I like McBride, man. I think he is solid, and that's what you want. That's what you want. And Connor has been the most valuable player to me for them over the last few years. And for him to actually say, all right, I got my quarterback back, it's going to make them look so smooth. And they could actually steal a playoff spot from a team that I think we're going to win the division only because of injuries. Talking about San Francisco. Kyle, is he under pressure? Because we got to go to that with the next topic.
Okay.
Because the injuries are going to mount up. We know Christian McCaffrey is now on short-term IR. We also know that Deebo Samuels was going to miss a couple weeks again with calf strain. Kettle got hurt in this game as well. Ayuk just coming back with his contract that he signed. We can already see a couple of things with San Francisco because not only did they lose this week, shout out to the Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 97-yard touchdown pass from Sam Darnold in a quote-unquote revenge game. But with the 49ers, what do? Is the pressure now on the pocket QB Brock Purdy that Cam Newton talked about a couple years ago about being a game manager?
Hey, the pressure's on the whole team. It's not just Purdy. It's the entire team. When you got a chance to win a Super Bowl, you have to win that thing. That window closes real quickly. And what they might have another year until it's this might be the last year for them, really. Let's be realistic. Players getting older. Kittle, is taking a lot of punishment. He blocks well, but he's running routes. He's taking hits. Deebo takes a lot of hits during the game. Christian McCaffrey takes a lot of hits. We already see it's taking a little longer to heal from Achilles, whatever they call it now. Who knows?
Yeah, calf / Achilles.
But it's the whole team, man. Like, you getting older. Now you're going to have to pay Purdy. So if you pay Purdy, you got to take money from somewhere else. You already don't have money to give Trent Williams what he wants. And he might be the most important player on that offense. So the pressure is not just Purdy. I'm looking at it's more so on the entire team right now.
I think there's a lot of pressure, not only on the team, but I think just the coaching staff in general.
Yeah.
It's funny because Kyle Shanahan might actually be the, how can I say this? Trying to figure out how I can put this in context.
Doc Rivers.
No.
No, I'm sorry, Doc.
No.
I'm sorry, Doc. I shouldn't have disrespected Kyle Shanahan like that. My bad.
Yeah, that was very disrespectful towards Kyle Shanahan. Because that's not where I was getting
I
at.
didn't mean to put you down.
But he might be that guy that's like, it's a basketball player that I can't think of that is right there but just can't win. Like, think about it. Like, it's going to come to me. But I'm looking at it like Kyle Shanahan might just be that guy. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to keep it close with football because he coached them already. He means Matt Ryan. As good as Matt Ryan
like
was.
once, though, right? Ryan got there close.
He got to the Super Bowl and it was up 28 to what?
He liked the Bills. Let's keep it football. He liked the Bills in the 90s.
Yeah, well, yeah, right there, but can't get the win.
Yeah.
He been there twice. So, yeah.
How many times did McNabb go to the Super Bowl?
Once.
Okay.
But he was always in the NFC Championship game because they had won like 4 or 5 times in a row.
That's close analogy.
Yeah, and that's where we at. That's where we at. It's like, bro, like, you there. We know how great you are. but can you get over the hump? I mean, it's Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Because Andy Reid was in the same situation until he wound up getting Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So I think that's where Kyle is now. And if you are a San Francisco 49ers GM, John Lynch, and the owner staff, do you say, look, coach, we love everything you're doing, but you can't get us there, even though you've been to 2 Super Bowls and we can't win it? Do you make a decision? Because those tough decisions come quick, like you just said. I mean, I watched them have Jim Harbaugh, and they won quick.
Yeah.
And they was like, bro, we got to move on. Different philosophies, though.
Yeah.
But they, he had to leave. And like how, like they invested in you. They want you to win, but you can't. It seems like your team can't get over that proverbial hump, and it might be causing a little bit of pressure on him as well.
I think in this situation, San Fran looking at like when you knocking on his door like that, I don't think firing the head coach is the solution. I think you're moving backwards in that case. He got you to he keep getting you to that point. I can't remember a team in recent memory who has been close, knocking on that door, and they changed head coaches, and now you got a championship. I guess the closest you could say was Sirianni, but the coach they fired him for had just won him a championship, had just won him a Super Bowl.
John Gruden.
Yeah, so
and that ain't recent.
Yeah, so like it's not really applicable. It hasn't showed paid dividends for teams firing their coaches, and then you getting immediate success, with that same team. So I think you stick it out to Shanahan until he shows like you're not making the playoffs, because you want the consistency.
Right.
You making the playoffs. We want that. Once you start you missing the playoffs, all right, now we gotta have that conversation.
Gotcha. I agree with that because I don't think you should fire him. I just playing that game like they ain't winning it. So what do you do? Because a lot of these GMs and owners, they make drastic moves that
because they know their time short.
Yeah, so that's the reason why. But speaking of teams who haven't come up short, they've been winning. Matter of fact, they've won 2 straight. Talk about the defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs. 2 straight games at home against the AFC North's best in a lot of people's eyes, and that was the Ravens and the Bengals. Joe Burrow came back to Kansas City, came to Arrowhead, tried to get a win. Team lost on a walk-off. Notice where I'm about to go. Pass interference call. A walk-off pass interference call.
Was it the right call?
A walk-off pass interference call.
It the right call?
Now, look, I'm going to let you go ahead and say it. You got it.
Was it the right call?
Yes.
Okay, well, we can't talk about it then.
It was a walk-off pass interference call that helped the Chiefs win another game. Good game. Very good game, by the way. It was very good. Harrison Butker knocked through, win the game. I'm still mad at a couple of pass interference calls this week that went the other way against us. But watching that one, I was like, oh, man, they lost on a pass interference call. That hurt.
It always hurts when it's the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because it's like they the new
Patriots.
Yep, they getting all the beneficiary calls now, it seems. But that's just what happens. When you got that aura around you, that mystique. That's championship mystique.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to get. I mean, that's exactly what they're supposed to get. They deserve it because they keep winning it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this. I'm going to go to the field, watching the work they got put in. Rasheed Rice still working.
Yeah.
Worthy. Speed is amazing. You didn't like that speed, but that speed is there, bro. That speed is there. But here's the issue, and it's going to lead us right into the next topic. Isaiah Pacheco. Pacheco was doing his thing. Point A, point B, jump cuts, all that. But he was getting folded up.
Short bus.
And he wound up catching the short bus to the walking boot. He's been deemed out for 6 to 8 weeks with a torn fibula, and want to know how he's going to come back from that. He was injured, clearly limping off the field near the end of the game.
Yeah.
Now he's out for 6 to 8 weeks.
2 months.
How do you think the Chiefs will bounce back moving forward without arguably one of their better players?
Andy Reid still there, right?
Yeah.
Mahomes still there, right?
Yeah.
All right. They be all right. They going to be all right. It's running back by committee. I expect probably Kareem Hunt to come back. That's him, the rookie. He's really a fullback.
Crocodile.
Steele, and P. Ryan. 3-headed monster right there. Pause. That's
what happened to what about my man? That was Haled.
I think he got like mental health stuff right now. So I think he on like a pup list or something like that. But he's still there. But as long as they got them guys, Mahomes, Andy Reid, they gonna make it happen.
Gotcha.
They gonna make it happen. You don't need a big name running back. But what it does hurt is they become less of that big play Chiefs that we know from like 2 years ago. Like last year, they went more into ball control and managing the game. The more we stay on the field, the less chance you got to score against us. And we know we can put up points. So we're going to put that pressure on you to score points back. So I think they'll be all right, though.
I think they're going to be all right even if they don't decide to do ball control and they would rather go, try to be explosive. Because Spags has been very good. That defense has been solid, y'all. I think a lot of people get caught up because of the Kelsey, Mahomes connection, and all of the stuff they've been doing over the years. Their defense is good.
Championship level defense.
Their defense is very good. Spagnuolo knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that they gave him the gift on Thursday against us when he called the timeout. He's not supposed to, but who cares? It's the game.
Championship.
It's the game, man, and I watched them this week. Their defense made Jamar Chase look very, very frustrated. And matter of fact, before we leave this game and go into the next topic, I want to talk about that with Jamar Chase. I know he signed the insurance clause with the $50 million. If he gets hurt, he got that insurance policy set up. What are your thoughts? Should the Bengals pay him? 1, 2. Do you think he should shut up and play?
Yeah, they should pay him. But you got a quarterback, you should be paying first.
They paid quarterback.
They paid Burrow?
Yeah, he got paid.
Okay.
Now
he got a whole nother year.
I get that. I get it. Yes, he had 2, which is still technically 1 in the NFL. I know how it works. But Barrow got paid.
Okay.
Barrow got paid after tearing up his stuff, his elbow. And the crazy thing about it, from watching these couple games, I'm like, Joe Barrow can't throw the ball past 40 yards without it being a duck. So that concerns me.
Fucked up. He was messing around with his wrist too.
And that's the same injury. So I'm like, bro, you just paid a guy, and I'm literally just looking on paper. The quarterback is the most important position. We all understand and we all agree.
Yeah.
But I watched Joe Barrow have a torn ACL, a wrist injury, a calf injury,
and get a contract,
and then got paid. I watched Joe Barrow not win when the 2 wide receivers, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, were out because he couldn't will that team to winning games without his weapons. You have to pay the weapons because Joe Barrow, in my opinion,
is the sum of that motherfucker.
Is not that elite the way that everybody describes him to be. That's my opinion.
How long have I been saying that for? Consistently, I say, Joe Burrow is him because of what's around him. Joe, show me you can do it with nobody, with no weapons. I'll give you your respect. Pat Mahomes did it. Lamar Jackson did it. You supposed to be elite. We want to see you do it too. But you got them weapons, so you need to be doing something because what's going on right now, that shit ain't cutting. It's not cutting. So you got to do better.
Definitely got to do better. I think that personally, for me, Cincinnati really ran organization. That's just me. Whenever they have to pay somebody, they let you leave, and they figure we'll just go ahead and get another person in the building. This was not the time to do it. You have to invest into this group. This group went to the Super Bowl before they were even expected to go to the Super Bowl. They had their run. You had your pieces in place. I thought they did the right thing by letting Mixon go because he's older and you had Brown that you were trying to invest into. All right, cool. You want to invest into a younger running back, cheaper younger running back that saves some money. Yeah. So you could pay T. Higgins and you could pay my man Chase. But now you don't want to pay him. Well, bro, you're not going to win. You're 0-2. You just lost to a team that you was favored to win by 10 on opening day at home. That's an issue. That's an issue, and now you're going to start seeing it because their schedule doesn't get any easier. I think the AFC North had the toughest schedule overall. this year. So it's gonna be interesting up there. Now it goes into my next point. Bad coaching or players execute. When I say bad coaching, I've watched over the last few years, but we're gonna keep it just with this season. For the last few weeks, I've watched crazy challenges take place. I've watched crazy decisions on 4th and 2 take place that have cost teams games, critical games that can actually hurt your playoff chances. Bad coaching or players executing. Because a lot of times as coaches as well as former players, we get that fine line. What's your thoughts on that?
It's a very fine line between bad coaching and players' execution, but it starts though the practice week, with preparation. If coach is not, y'all have the right game plan, you can't come in expecting to win. But of course, you always think you got the right game plan. I give you an example though. Last night, Monday Night Football, people think, what's that, 3rd or 4th down to pass to Saquon? You thought that was bad coaching or?
That was definitely bad coaching to me. And this is the reason why. I know you might not agree with it, but I'm going to say bad coaching. This is why. I'm looking at time and distance. If I kick the field goal by running the clock out, they leave them with 45 seconds to come down and try to win the game with a touchdown. I think it's a different pressure when you only got 45 seconds and no timeouts. And having a minute and 30 seconds with no time.
That's almost double.
That's a major difference. And I truly think the Eagles would have won, should have won, if they would have ran the clock out.
I tell you this. What if I tell you the Eagles should have won the game without even needing that play?
Come on.
All right.
I know where we're going at.
The timeout he used. All right. The play was intentionally ran to get up to the line of scrimmage late, giving the defense the assumption that you was going to have to quick snap the ball. So it was supposed to be a hard count. The defense was supposed to jump through the neutral zone. Your offensive line was supposed to react. Okay? Philly did that. They got it. And I'm not sure if the guy jumped through the neutral zone, but the defender did jump. All right? The offensive line didn't react. But that's what Nick, sir, if you look at him, if you watch the game again, that's what he was yelling about. Because that's your first down. That's the end of the game. Right there.
I agree with that. I agree with that as well. So that's when we go into the players not executing. I get that strategy. But I'm going to also go back into this. Same game, bad coaching. Saquon Barkley, first drives all the way down the field. Had, I believe, like close to 40 yards on that one drive. They get all the way down to the 4. And you don't kick the field goal. You try to go for the touchdown. All that stuff matters. This is a 60-minute game we playing here, right? If you don't take the points early, it can bite you in your ass later on. It bit them in the ass last night because if you take the field goal there, you're up 6.
At the end of the game.
You kick the field goal, now you're up 9. It don't matter if they give up a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. You already won the game.
That's new football. So many coaches placing so much emphasis on analytics. Man, fuck that analytics. Go by what's on the field, man. Common sense makes sense most of the time, but common sense ain't common. You know what I'm saying? So take the points most of the time, man. Them points, this is a game of inches. As we see in week 1 with the Raiders, it's a game of inches, man. So them 3 points can mean a world of a difference in the end. Because instead of pushing, possibly sometimes for a field goal in the end, you might have to push for a touchdown. So just take the points more often than not. You're supposed to have all the confidence in the world in your players, but it's for you to be that overseer. It's like being a parent, yo. You want to give your kids every goddamn thing. They want candy and ice cream and all this shit, but then sometimes you gotta be like, no, motherfucker, eat these vegetables. That's what you have to do as a coach.
And that's where a lot of times fans don't look at it from coaching. Because as a coach, I'm talking about coaches that's actually fans instead of being coaches. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, bro, I want the points. Because it's hard to score touchdowns in the professional league. It's just like that in basketball. We settle for the 3 instead of getting the easy 2. And then it bites you. Because let's go back, revisionist history. Your boy, Chris Paul, gets hurt, doesn't play game 7, against Houston at home.
Why we got
And then instead of them going to the basket and getting a couple layups, maybe put them in foul trouble. 3. Everybody, let's understand this.
Bringing up nightmares, y'all.
Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, and Klay Thompson might be top 5, and Kevin Durant is in the top 10. Them dudes shoot. Everybody is not a shooter.
Everybody not a shooter.
Same thing in the NFL. Every cute play is not a good play. Sometimes it makes sense to take 3.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with taking 3. It's nothing wrong with investing into your team as a whole and say, hey, yo, bro, we up 6. Stop them.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where the bad coaching come in. I'm not even just talking about the points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the fact that not only did these dudes get this 3 to go up 6,
Yeah.
the defense got out on the field and said, yo, we're going to just sit back
and
let y'all just pass and try to hold you back when you get within 25 yards of the end zone.
It's too late.
That's dumb. You done gave them the momentum. You gave them a chance. Don't give a team like that a chance, especially a desperate team that I just said was in a division where they watched 2 dudes who were over top of them, at 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the key right there.
Yeah, that's tough. They gotta do better, man. It all come back down to coaching, y'all. Coaching and players' execution. It's hand in hand. It's a fucking fine line.
Yeah, and that's where I'm gonna leave that frustration until we see the same
Well,
dumb
you
shit
had
this
me
week.
frustrated, man. Bringing up them old nightmares with Chris Paul and the Rockets, man. I got nightmares.
Yeah, I had to, man.
Nightmares of that shit.
I had to. That was a shot. You know, we talked off the camera earlier. Off the camera earlier about some other things, and I tried to beat you to the punch, so I had to do that.
Hurt, man.
You know what I'm saying? I had to beat you to the punch, bro. But it's all right. So now we're gonna get into this segment. This is my favorite segment when we do this football talk, and that is top 5, bottom 5. What we do here when we do top 5, bottom 5, we discuss obviously who is our top 5.
Absolutely.
We talk about who is our top 5 in the NFL, and we talk about the bottom dwellers, the ones that's in the basement. So I'm always start off with the bottom 5 when we go live here on the show. Bottom 5 at number 28 is going to be the LA Rams, 0-2. They have been hit with the injury bug again. Both star wide receivers, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, will be on IR by the end of tonight. And they may say, I know that Puka may be done for 8 weeks. Looks like Kupp may be a little shorter. But without their 2 top guys, they're going to be in trouble. I just see that their team is going to be struggling, especially in that division, because you have 2 teams that are, one team is 2-0, the other 2 are 1-1, and one of the teams that's 1-1 is a Super Bowl favorite. Like, people think they're going to go.
Stafford too, man. Like 0-2 with offensive line was already coming in hurt, and they got even more injuries now. And you lose your top 2 wide receivers. Who do you actually plug in, to become your number 1 option at wide receiver? But now that takes away from your running game as well. So it might be a rough year for maybe Aaron Donald got out right on time.
And I don't think they have no draft picks because of all the trades that they made to win the Super Bowl.
You know, it was fuck them draft picks. For a long
hell
time.
yeah.
Which was the right thing to do.
Win championship.
You got a ring out of it. You got a ring. But it might be rough for this season. Let's hope not, because I like to see good football, man. But I hope they bounce back.
At the number 29 spot, we have the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee, I don't think Will Levis is the guy, but they do have Calvin Ridley. He's been performing well. They run with 2 running backs in Pollard and Spears. I like the tight end. Can't pronounce his name, but I like their tight end.
Who's that? Rockwell?
Yeah, I forget his name, but he's solid. But the Titans 0-2. In a division I think is the weakest division. I honestly think that that's the weakest division in football, is the AFC South. But the Titans 0-2.
Let me chime in though. Like Tennessee, I don't think Tennessee is as bad as their record is showing. Like they got that 0-2, but they was in both games for the most part. You know what I'm saying? If not for dumbass plays by Will Levis, they might win both of them games. So they could easily be 2-0 right now instead of 0-2. So I don't think Tennessee is that bad. You know, they're a young team. at certain positions, but they got the leadership to get them where they need to be.
Next team. This team, the Denver Broncos. 0-2, a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix, Sean Payton out there. I think they just not that good, man. They're just not that good. Sean Payton might have had fool's gold by having Drew
Call a
Brees.
spade a spade. Sean Payton, you can't coach. Drew Brees got you that ring, man.
Shots!
You can't coach Sean Payton.
Shots!
Let's keep it real. And Bo Nix, you some shit.
Damn! Shots again.
This is not college, man. That's the problem with the league in general. A lot of these quarterbacks cannot quarterback. They just out here doing a lot of RPOs, and that's what's getting their ass by. That's all I got to say on that one.
Hey, look, I'm not disagreeing. I think that system, when you have a system and you have an elite guy that can run a system, can make you look great. You don't have that guy, it's going to make you look like trash. And right now, Bo Nix, 2 games in, but you like 40. So because you my age, you're trash in the NFL. That's what I'm going to leave it at. We're going to go to the next team. This team is worse than them because their quarterback, if we just said Bo Nix is trash, this quarterback is hot garbage. And I'm talking about Daniel Jones and the New York Football Giants. They are 31 for me because for some reason, that boy can't get better and help that team win.
He played decent on Sunday, though.
That's against Washington.
He played decent on... Who plays you best? The people in your division,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
6 scoring drives. They couldn't get into the... Wait, they got into the end zone. I'm sorry.
3 times.
3 touchdowns, no kicker. They got a kicker, they might win the game. Who knows? But I'm going to back off of Daniel Jones this week because he produced.
Okay.
And Malik Davis got the ball. That motherfucker's an animal, and you got to get him the ball.
The next great one.
Yeah, he had like 15 targets or something like that.
Yes,
man. That's insane. He knows who's going to give him the best chance to succeed. So if you come in with that don't force him the ball though. You can't be just double coverage. He can still go get it. Play smart though, Danny Jones, and maybe you can earn some of that money that you signed on that contract.
The money that he stole, right?
Yeah.
The money he stole.
Yeah.
At least we agree with that.
He ain't even wear no mask on that shit. He just went straight into there and stole it. On the camera, smiled and everything.
That's how you supposed to do it, man. Take that money. Should they give it away? Take it. Now, we're going number 32. It sucks because I think the organization is just bad and they did this guy wrong. But 32, I think we both agree with this. It's the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young has been benched. Andy Dalton will be starting. And that's another thing. How the hell does Andy Dalton keep getting a job? Who does he know? He must got some pictures or something with somebody.
He's a
good white quarterback?
No, he's a serviceable quarterback. You know, this is exactly what you want him for. This whole your backup. Your backup quarterback. You just want somebody who can come in and not be Snoop.
Hold up, bro. That's disrespectful. That is disrespectful. You gonna say you can't be Snoop? Wait a minute.
Yes, I'm talking
Snoop
about...
is getting ready to be the starting quarterback in Miami by week 6.
I'm talking about the Pro Bowl quarterback on Miami that's not Tua. I'm talking about him. You don't want your quarterback to be... You want somebody that can actually make different reads on the field. Progressions. Okay, option 1, option 2, option 3. Okay, maybe I got to tuck and run. Maybe I got to throw it away. You don't want somebody that's just option 1, oh shit, I got to run. You want somebody that can actually run your system and that you have confidence in. That's what I was going for. My bad, Snoop.
Well, I'm talking about Andy Dalton because Andy Dalton, he's going to do good. The Red Rifle's going to do solid. I just feel bad because Bryce Young wasn't allowed to actually develop. Let's look at it. He's been there 2 years. He's had 2 head coaches. This coach probably doesn't even want him because that's not his guy. And I look at chemistry. You have to build chemistry, especially in football. You have to keep having, you have to keep on pushing through. You have to have repetition. It has to become great.
On the playbook.
If you don't even have that chemistry, it's going to look bad. And I think they've really done him a disservice. He reminds me of the Baker Mayfield situation that was happening in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Because he had to leave to go somewhere that he could get trust.
Right.
I think Bryce Young will be leaving soon to go somewhere where he can build trust to become a better quarterback in his league. He's still very young. He still has time.
That's true.
I don't think he's that bad. I just think he's in a bad situation.
But is it's the situation, but still, does he really have the physical tools needed?
No, he's small
to play quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
He is short. He's not as strong. You can't really see over top of the offensive line. It's already tough for you already. So add in, you don't have the support that's necessary from the top because your owner is by far one of the worst owners in the NFL. So you got a good head coach, but you got to get better too, Bryce Young. You got to get better. Mm-hmm. They had no weapons around them though. Like the difference between CJ and Bryce, they really went in and invested on getting Bryce some weapons in his second year, and Carolina just got him a goddamn wide receiver that can't speak English. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. That's terrible. That's terrible. Stop. Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone, man. He's still young too. They might need to give him a speech coach or something down there. Leave the boy alone. He from the country. You know, just
he cool though.
He cool
guy.
guy.
He like a young, well DK's still young, but he like a DK Metcalf. He nice solid receiver. He got some speed. South Carolina too, right?
Yeah, DK Metcalf mixed in with Debo Samuels. He's an aggressive runner, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But trending down right now, I got the Jaguars, the Bengals, the Colts, and the Ravens. Yeah. Only reason why I got them trending down is because of their losses. I think the Colts is one of those teams that are trying to find their identity. Okay. Because remember, they didn't play a lot of games last year together, Richardson and Taylor. Yeah. The Ravens, their issue is they're beating them. In my opinion, they're beating themselves, and that offensive line merry-go-round and musical chairs is not a good look. They have to find stability there. The Bengals, I am very concerned with Joe Burrow and his injury history. I think that's part of it. And the Jaguars, true story, I think the Jaguars just don't have the right coach. I don't think Peterson's the right coach. That's just me.
Yeah, that was the wrong hire from the jump, you know. But let them tell it. Sunshine was the next great quarterback coming out when he was in Clemson. That's all you heard about was sunshine. Now Sunshine in the NFL, he just looked like a jag. Mm-hmm. You know, he just
another guy.
Just another guy out there. If you supposed to be who they said you are, you first overall pick, you gotta produce like that, man. You not producing, Trevor Lawrence. You're not producing. You gotta do better. You got the running back that you was in college with. They got you weapons out there. They Evan Ingram tight end. You got multiple wide receivers that they went out and got for you. You gotta produce. And you gotta make it equal wins and playoff showings.
It's funny because I know I might be running out a little bit of a time, but I wanted to get into that. We actually got another one we're gonna do about the QB salaries because they paid Trevor Lawrence too. Yeah. And we'll get into that one very soon. Mm-hmm. Now we're gonna go over here to the top five. Top five. These are all the guys that are trending up that can get into the top five.
Here we go.
Trending up right now. Mm-hmm. Minnesota Vikings. 2-0.
Okay.
Like what they're doing.
I love the defense out there.
Yeah, I love
Flores, man. I love Brian Flores. He probably won't never get another head coaching job, but to see him flourishing, top defensive coordinator, being back on top again, I love seeing him, man.
Next one. The Los Angeles Chargers. Welcome back Jim Harbaugh to the league. Getting back Greg Roman. We know what they want to do, and they're showing it. I got to give an applause. I definitely got to give an applause to my guy, J.K. Dobbins.
Okay.
J.K. Dobbins, welcome back. Yeah. Back from the Achilles, showing everybody what his worth is.
Respect.
And then we got Ravens West.
Who has better than us?
Mike McDonald out in Seattle, showing everybody. I know it was against the Patriots and the Broncos, but you still got to win the games so you can get the dubs.
That's two
close
games.
Wins
yes, for a rookie head coach.
Yes, sir. That's very good for a rookie head coach. Credit them. They dealing with some injuries right now with Kenneth Walker, but the team is still rolling. I like what's going on in Seattle. They're trending up. But at number 5, the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
Dang. Derek Carr. Yeah, they had 5.
Okay.
They had 5. Because this is the reason why they had 5.
Okay.
Everybody expected them to beat Carolina.
Okay.
And they were at home.
Okay.
The Dallas one was like, whoa, didn't expect that.
But what happened in the first week against Carolina? Did they beat them or did they beat the shit out of them?
They beat the shit out of them.
That's what the fuck you supposed to do
Exactly,
to a team like
because
Carolina.
a team like that, you're supposed to beat their ass.
Yeah, don't give them no hope. Beat the shit out of them. And then week 2, did they beat the Cowboys or did they beat the shit out the Cowboys?
They beat the shit out of them.
All right then. Gotta give them that respect, yo.
Yeah, I'm giving it to them.
Who that?
Guess what?
Who that? Who
They in
that
the top
is
5.
beat
But watch
Saints?
this though. They ain't better than this team.
Who we
And
got?
that's number 4, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is better than the Saints. They went to Detroit. They beat the team that went and beat them last year, who I think is a year better. I do think Detroit is a year better than what they were last year.
Okay.
They proved the point, and they stomped Washington at home because everybody looking at the final score, that shit was already gone away. They had beat Washington too. They took care of their business. They don't got to go out there and score 40 and 50. They said, yo, we're going to beat y'all Tampa Bay football style.
Okay.
And that's what they did.
Okay. So you expected to start more from Tampa or from New Orleans?
I expected both of them to be 1-1. I'm shocked that they're both 2-0.
Okay. But the result of 2-0, if we sat from the beginning of the season and said which one is more likely to be 2-0, who would you side with?
Based off of where it was at, I would definitely say Tampa.
Absolutely.
But my only thing was I didn't think Tampa was going to beat Detroit in Detroit. I didn't
Right.
think Tampa was going to beat them there.
Mhm.
And the way that they did, they held that team to 15 points.
Yeah.
No, 16 points.
Mhm.
And in Detroit.
In Detroit.
So that's
Not
impressive.
on offense.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
You know, so
Now, them two could be flip-flop. That's tomatoes, it's the same thing. You know, same division. They gonna duke it out in the end, though.
yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I hope they flex them games.
Yeah.
They got to flex them. If they stay like this, they got to flex
Yeah,
them.
we want to see that.
But look, at number 3, this team right here, I gotta see the status of their running back. With Joe Mixon, the Houston Texans took care of business again. CJ Stroud, and this connection between Stroud and your boy. God damn it, I wanted to draft him. Not Tank Dell, Nico Collins. I wanted Nico. Nico is baby Andre Johnson.
Dang.
Yes, he is
Dang.
physical. He is physical.
That's high praise.
And he does what he does. If they can keep that chemistry together, Hall of Fame bound. I like Nico Collins.
Who Houston had first week?
Houston had the Colts first week.
Man, I would have put Houston at 5. I would have put them underneath of the Bucs and Saints. You know, I like the quality of that second opponent that the Bucs and the Saints had.
Over their second opponent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Bad sneaky though. I ain't know that defense was like that.
they're not a bad team. They wasn't a bad team last year. But they did to a rookie quarterback what you're supposed to do to a rookie quarterback.
Blitz there.
Yeah, but it wasn't Kate. It was the offensive line. But Texans defense was fucking fantastic at that game. Don't let me write y'all off. But I would have put them at 5. But go ahead.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and top 2.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody be looking like, man, you crazy. They might say I'm crazy after I say this. At number 2, I'm gonna put the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Kansas City Chiefs, this is why. 2 tough games, both at home. Everybody is going to say, oh, they won because of a foot. Or they won because of a PI. They still won the game. But their injuries is going to be an issue moving forward.
Possible.
But as long as they got Pat Mahomes and Kelsey and Andy Reid and Spagnuolo and that defense with Chris Jones and Reed and all those guys, they going to be fine. But right now they're at number 2 for me.
They number 1 for me. They back to back, and it looked like they got a serious chance to go back to back to back. And I know something about going back to back to back is a fantasy football chant, but that's until somebody knocked them off right now, giving them an L. I don't care how they won, they won. You know, that's tough. That's part of being that championship team. Don't matter how you get it done, just get that shit done. And they getting it done right now. So for me, they still number 1.
Now, you know I did that on purpose, y'all out here. Because I really wanted Kansas City at 1. But I got to mix it up a little bit because that's the only way we're going to keep y'all watching and enjoying. Number 1 for me, because they did their thing while getting rid of all of their skill guys. Buffalo Bills. They are number 1 right now because they took care of business down in Miami before Tua got hurt. Not with Josh Allen running and throwing and doing all that. Because they said, yo, Cook, run this ball, shorty. Show everybody what you got. Oh, and guess what? My defense, you still going to look real good, too. Got a pick six. Flip the field a couple of times down there against Miami. I'm going to put Buffalo at number 1 for this week in the top 5, bottom 5.
Definitely surprised with Buffalo this year. I didn't think they would have that continuity on the team, but I guess that shows the leadership that they got on the team with on the defensive side and Josh Allen, because they lost a lot on both sides of the football. You know, like losing guys like Matt Milano, Stephon Diggs. Many people don't know Matt Milano, but he was a big part on that defense for the last few years. So just maintaining and up and just you're undefeated. But that's a tough division they're in. So getting that early 2-0 lead, that's pivotal for them. That's big. That's impressive.
And that's the reason why I put them there.
Impressive.
And that's the reason why I put them there. They still got a tough road. They still playing a first place schedule. We're going to see how things go as the season move on. But as you know, the more games you play underneath your belt, young guys like Keon Coleman will step back up.
He didn't even really show up
He
yet.
ain't done nothing yet.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they ain't been throwing the ball to Dalton Kincaid yet. It's going to be interesting how Buffalo plays this out, especially if James Cook is going to show everybody his worth.
Right.
Listen, y'all, this has been a good one. BSN Presents is back. We are in the studio now.
Absolutely.
We got more people that's going to show every week.
We got some characters for y'all, man. We got some personalities. We got some guys coming to y'all with different thoughts. We got different fan bases that's going to be represented. Just we gonna cover all sports too. We was football centric because it's early. We miss football, man.
Yeah,
we're coming to y'all with different sports. Just come sit in the barbershop. That's almost what it's like.
It's always fun. I think I need to hit the barbershop. Don't roughing it out today. I hit that on Fridays. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good though. This is what we do. BSN Presents. This is my man Joel over here.
Next week, fellas.
It's your boy GD Fitz, man. We out, yo.
All right.
See y'all next week.